All we can do now is pray.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our
trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation.
I think the trick of reimagining iconic movies like Halloween or The Exorcist is taking some stuff from the original movie and then inventing new things.
Catherine.
I look at it as a franchise where you can explore, you can ask questions.
I want my mother and I want her right now!
The true roller coaster of this production is being able to find joy in darkness, find the community in loneliness. I'm looking to put my fingerprints in this material, in this world with these characters. In my initial research of this film and the narrative we were sculpting, I found cases of up to 5 people that were dealing with possession from an entity. For me, that was exciting. Let's explore a synchronized possession. If we can funnel a few of these voices into a narrative with 2 girls, we can take on some of those complications and conflicts, but we can do it in a manageable way for a 2-hour movie.
Action.
To me, this franchise is about childhood, parenthood, and journeys in the uncertain.
I feel like I won a fan contest. I'm one of the biggest Exorcist fans that you will meet. When I heard that David was making this movie, I sent my agent an email, like, just so you know, this is a dream project. FYI, just do with that what you will. And 7 or 8 months later, I got a call to join David on this adventure.
Leslie wrote a letter, I guess when he first heard that we were cooking up an Exorcist movie.
Hey!
And that was exciting, because I'm a fan of his. When I talked to him about it, we just hit it off and said, let's just dive into this and see what happens.
It's pretty convincing.
Right?
What's this made of?
It's an edible ink. It's food coloring.
I've grown up with a fascination of religions of all sorts. And this was an opportunity to take a lot of different perspectives of possession and explore it through a variety of characters and their perspective of religion.
Exorcism is a ritual. Every culture, every religion, they all use different methods.
The evolution of this project began with some of my inspiration from Ellen and the original Exorcist. Then I started anchoring my drama of the synchronized possession, the story of new parents, and thought, what is Chris MacNeil doing? How did this affect her? Would Ellen Burstyn even take my phone call?
Playing a character that I created 50 years ago, who has she become? What are the experiences that happened to her those 50 years? And how does that affect the person she is now? And that started to interest me creatively. And I realized that we are, in any moment of time, the sum total of everything that's happened to us and how it's become part of our character. She knows who I am. And I thought that was an interesting, creative challenge to explore. Where's the other girl?
I just remember when I first saw The Exorcist being so shaken by Ellen's work because it's disarming in its humanity and its honesty.
Having Ellen in the movie is really an amazing way to connect this movie to the first movie, which I think is very satisfying.
We knew how incredible of an actress she was and what she could bring to this and to the rest of the cast.
Oh, thank God.
We're following Chris MacNeil on her return to the stage of exorcism.
It's just natural to me. I feel at home on a set.
Thank you very much.
What was most striking to me was how present she is. When she drops into the scene, there's stillness, and that's a beautiful thing. I was very struck by it.
She grounded and blessed me as a scene partner. She gave me this huge hug, and then we dug right in. What do you think?
I think we're ready. Following in the footsteps of Linda Blair is an extraordinary quest. I wanted it to be a relative discovery, and then I met Lydia and Olivia.
Those 2 young girls, their work is extraordinary. Very, very talented.
You can tell that they've developed a friendship. You can tell that they've worked really hard on what they're doing together. And what's better than 1 possessed girl, but 2? It's insanity.
In 34 years I've been in this business, I don't think I've ever seen a performance as good from an adult than from these two girls, and I'm 100% serious about that.
My mom, she was always so supportive of me doing this, but she was like, I don't want to play around with demons and the devil, so just to be safe, let's go get you a blessing. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
I gave my dog a lot of hugs. That's what I did. I spent so much time with her and my sister and getting that feeling with my family, and then when I came here, I just tried to be like as bubbly as possible and as happy as possible, I think, because I knew just like subconsciously what was coming.
What was that? Oh, look at that. Look at these goosebumps.
We've met before.
Are you looking for Reagan?
Ellen Burstyn, she's working with a 12-year-old who's never acted, who's in 2.5 hours of prosthetic makeup. It was tricky in a lot of ways to navigate both the difference in experience and skill sets and age and energy and try to find a common ground where we could all find characters that we believed in, let them feel authentic. Go with your intuition here. Feel the pain.
David really allows me to discover who Catherine is and who Demon Catherine is. Like, these are totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
See Chris and sculpt her, like trace her outline.
Okay.
And like, you know, and even your picture against stab her in the eye, you can start to feel that. Okay. And you feel your hands drawn to that. I think that'll be a really fun way to play. And I like the strong voice. I think that's fun.
He's super collaborative with us.
That's the thing about David. He first wants to see our instincts. I'll be like, David, I don't know what I'm doing. He'll be like, I just want to see your instincts. And then it turns out great.
Part of my job is just being able to create an environment where I'm letting the actors do what they do so well.
It's really fun just because it makes set just feel so much more fun and open, which is so important to have the best performance that you can.
When I'm editing, there's going to be a question here while a prayer there. There's going to be a statement there while there's a prayer. So they'll all be overlapping in a way. A lot of it will be. So I want to make sure we have those options. And so I'm trying to keep it, you know, so I can have some isolated things to cut to. I think it's going to be great. We'll condense time and like you see in those cuts. It's just there can be moments of pause and stillness and quiet and singular isolated lines, and then there's moments where everything is kind of congested and overwhelming. We did a lot of rehearsal, blocked out the space, tape on the floor, let's audition this idea, let's audition that idea. And then on the day, we throw all the rules out the door, we have our ambitions and our game plan, and then we immediately just let it become this organic, growing, creative stage. All this feels great to me. The spontaneity is key. Now, the fireball spits from the fireplace.
I feel very, very close to this cast. From what we've gone through and what we're doing together, they're just an extraordinary group of actors.
I could not ask for a better cast. And when we're in the chair and there's this circle of people around us, it just feels like this big circle of love. Yeah. And it's awesome, honestly.
David's really good at giving you something that's familiar, but with a spin and with a twist, that it feels new.
The legacy of this franchise was captivating for generation after generation, and I can only hope that this movie captures those curiosities, that it can kind of feed those appetites.
Stand by for picture, please.
We knew this couldn't be another remake. It had to be a continuation. And who better to assist than the determined, formerly non-believer, Chris McNeil.
For me, when Ellen Burstyn walks on set, I'm in the presence of Hollywood royalty. So I get goosebumps. I get excited about what we're going to create together.
I'm not going to stand there and let her do it again.
She cracks a joke, and all of a sudden, you're just there with a collaborator. You invite Linda Blair, and we're trying to figure out where are we right now. We knew we were tapping into something a little bit beyond just our obvious film production of a sequel. I think this...
No, this is part of the handle. These are the ticks.
When they wrote this project and tried to figure out, should I be part of it, should I not be part of it, we worked with, where did my story go? We will know Chris McNeil's journey, but will we know Reagan's journey? Ellen Burstyn is probably one of the most extraordinary actresses Ellen, for me, working so many years ago, was incredibly giving. There was a mother-daughter type relationship, and she knew that. She was there for me always. And so to bring that back to the story and to mold this new time for both of them was a moment that had to be very special.
There's no richer experience in my life than being creative and working with someone who's also creative, and we're in this thing together.
What David brought to me, I thought was something that the audience would really enjoy. Unfortunately, what Chris McNeil had to go through for Reagan to return was kind of a devilish action, but it is what brings Reagan home.
I feel them, girls, I feel them.
Ellen and Linda had not seen each other in many years.
To mold this new time for both of them was a moment that had to be very special.
I'd been in communication with both of them, and then for a sequence, I said, if you two haven't seen each other in these many years, we're rolling cameras, and I would like to film that reunion as you see each other again. No one on the crew knew Linda was there. In fact, on the call sheet it said Bartholomew, and everybody's like, who's Bartholomew? We're rolling, and Ellen knew there was gonna be a moment, but she's blindfolded. The silence was deafening.
Hey, Mark.
And action.
Victor, is that you?
No, Mom. It's me.
And we cut. All right, let's keep it quiet, please.
We cut, and then everybody was hugging and high-fiving. There was just that moment of celebration of we just were a part of this thing.
You okay? Yeah. Yeah.
Your voice got so deep.
It did, didn't it? The union between Ellen and I think it's cinematic history.
A little different than when we started, didn't we? Oh, go like this.
The first time that I saw any of the demon makeup is when I went to the special effects office in California. They showed me this picture of Catherine, and it was insane. I was super excited.
I had a makeup test, and all of a sudden I look in the mirror and it's not me. I remember seeing it and just thinking, wow, and that's when it hit me.
Stand by the roll, guys. We're getting close here.
I always love working with Chris Nelson. He brings so much to the table.
Just give a representation of it. The main note that I got from David was it all had to be based in reality. It all had to be something that could plausibly happen to these girls. Ready for some of this?
Yeah.
I'm not putting that much.
There's 3 stages of possession. There's naughty, there's nasty, and then there's gnarly.
David and I went through the script. We mapped it out based on the arc of these 2 girls. These aren't zombies and these aren't demons, so to speak. These are girls that are afflicted with evil from within. So how does that manifest itself physically through these little girls?
She's waiting for you.
The first phase, initially you just feel a little off. There's a redness to the eyes, slight receding hairline. Then as things get more violent, they might be cutting themselves, scratching themselves. The physical attributes get a little bit nastier. And then by the climax of our film, literally the extreme physical frustrations manifesting themselves in these girls, then that's when it's full-on prosthetic and Christopher and his team get up and get gnarly.
You could definitely see throughout the film that the little girl starts fading away as time goes on and the demon becomes more prominent. Olivia, her makeup was based on her pulling her hair out. It's like she's yanking and pulling her hair, and so the makeup involves taking away her whole hairline and receding it. We didn't want to distort her so much. We wanted to keep her basic silhouette, but we still have her little freckles in there to give you that connection to innocence. In the script, Lydia's character, Angela, is banging her head a lot. So I honestly thought to myself, well, how do we deform this girl and make her look weird, but we do it plausibly well? Let's have swelling. Her forehead swells up, her cheek swells up. Her makeup is based on her banging her head a lot and her face swelling because of it.
Makeup is usually around 3 hours, and it's the best 3 hours to start my day with. I love watching them work. After 27 hours, you get in the makeup and you really realize that some of the smaller things really make all the difference, and they're a lot more pronounced when you're in the makeup. And I guess that's something I kind of had to adjust to.
They are so expressive and they work that makeup. Honestly, it wouldn't work as well if it wasn't for their performance. They work in tandem with the makeup.
The makeup definitely helps because you have a place to go to.
Having those small moments where the makeup just emphasizes them even more, I think that's what creeps people out, which is the goal.
They're not afraid to move their face and really express and really bring that character out. They honestly 100% make it better, and that's really rare.
I found it a bit more difficult to be more creepy and more scary with half of it on than I do with most of it on.
All right, guys, first team coming to set.
The first day that we had them both in their most extreme makeup, everyone kept coming up to me going, it's incredible.
The first time I saw her, I just walked in, and it is a total transformation. It is otherworldly.
Lydia and Olivia are amazing. These girls have such total commitment. It's like, this is horrifying.
Those two young girls, just the way they use their voices and the way they use their bodies, never seen anything like it. Really remarkable.
When you're in the demon makeup, it just feels natural, if natural is the right word to use, you know, but it doesn't feel as polar opposite to you as a person because you are embodying that character, not just mentally and vocally, but also physically.
We'll open it up on the back. There's a big zipper, goes all the way down here, so we can let them in, and then they'll be glued in. So 15 or 16 pieces, including the horns. So it's a lot.
It's intense.
It's a very intense character, yeah.
The design phase for Lamash 2 was a couple months or so. We came to a happy medium between the supernatural and the reality. Lamash 2 is naked. There's no clothes to hide anything. And so it all has to be seamless and blend together and be epic and big and monumental. I think we nailed it.
We really go into the kitchen together and whip up something special every time. It's so cool to have an artist that still has such a love and passion for what he does. Christopher Nelson, he's the best in the business.
It's not just the makeup. Until it's on camera and works within the lighting and the context of the film, then I'm happy.